it's a timely reminder because the news is on its way and the facts done below on Radio AB.
Ruled out extending.
Off on April 1st in the wake of the exercise as planned on hand than before the war began.
Island in WA is being investigated to be in a critical condition. According to Bay was received at approximately extension on a phase of negotiations in Washington.
Fielding a team in Group 10 and be affected by
the road closure.
Bailing out the Wolves. But what had a big win last weekend, to be honest. Yeah, over the next year. I hope this story might encourage a few teachers to step up and get the kids off their screens and out in. Also, the top sweep sellers are, of course, now. Listen to your episode this week on the tax-free status of Papua New Guinea play. Lead players for the Bears. Here, that is an exciting idea, especially for Newcastle. He says, I was listening to your podcast while walking. Decent, hard-working Aussies at the bars.
Newcastle.
Nearly a middle-aged mother. This comes from Greg. I listened to you alluding to yearning for 6 shots behind Sharky, whether he can...
So we've got the case ready to go. Yep, time to put the crankshaft in. Dowel is in. Oh, there it is. Yep, she's in. Put him in like that, just hold him up. Short one here. Just enough to put a bit of friction on there just to stop it from falling. Number 3's down here. Should be okay. So as you can see, before I put the case together, I've got everything ready to go. All my through bolts have had the green Viton O-rings installed to the head of the bolt side. I've got my washers ready to go, my nuts are ready to go. They're all pre-loaded with thread lubricant. Case nuts, washers, the other O-rings, O-ring installer tools, bolt for the case, because we always need a bolt. I think we're good to go. I've lubed up the intermediate shaft, all the main bearings are lubed. Got my O-rings in the case. O-rings for the pump in the case, the other one's obviously underneath. And I think we're good to go. Looking pretty good. Yep, case is together. Pull the guides out. Pull that guide out. Together. Let's just get a crank pulley. I'll just thread that on lightly just so I can keep an eye on things. Okay, so it's time to think about putting some nuts and whatnot on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to locate my nose bearing, because the nose bearing is basically a giant alignment dowel. So you do want to align the case fairly well. but the clock has started. It says it's 1:37. So I've got all my tools, well I think I've got all my tools ready to go. So I might just give it a tap. So it's not torqued to spec, it's just snugged up. It's just brought that side together. So now, probably don't have my table in the best position for this, but I need to actually give this a clean. So these O-rings need a good slathering of this moly coat. Get a through bolt and an O-ring. And once you put the through bolts through, the O-ring, oh, you probably can't see what I'm doing here. Slide that up through. Now, can you see what I'm doing? I think you can. Put that on there. We slide the O-ring down off the end of the, there we go, it holds the bolt. So I need to put all of these through fairly quickly. Still plenty of moly coat on that one. While I'm doing this, just curious how many of you have checked out my website. The address is www.aircooledporsches.com.au. Do you have to say www anymore? I don't know. Oh, didn't quite come off there. Get off, there we go. It's been 6 minutes so far. It's about 21 degrees in the garage at the moment, so that's all good. Now I know I've got 2 more to do on the bottom. Actually, should I do that? Yeah, I should do those now. So I'm just going to go around and just get a little bit of that excess grease off the case if I can. Probably not necessary. I'm happy for it to be on the O-ring. I'm just trying to keep it away from the case until that washer goes on. When we tighten down the nuts on the washers, when the washer makes contact with the case, we want the nut to turn on the surface of the washer. We don't want the washer to turn against the case. Let's just check the camera angle. I think you can see what's going on there. So I'm just going to drop the washers on now. Let's hope that I'm not making a mistake in my process. There's a bit of extra moly coat on here. I don't think it's an issue. As I said, I'm keeping it away from the case if I can. It's on the washer, it's on the O-ring. Okay, now, so I do preload my nuts and the surfaces with the ARP thread lubricant. I'm just going to put those on loosely just to get them started. The bolt's not turning, don't worry. Question is, why do we have the through bolts facing this way with the nuts on the left hand side of the case, but on the other side of the case the nuts are on the right hand side? I don't know. All I do know is that this is how Porsche did them at the factory. So It doesn't make a difference which way you face your through bolts. You can put them in left to right or right to left. I've done it both ways. Now I know some people use electric impacts. I just can't bring myself to do it. So I'm just going to start bringing these down by hand. Alright, so now I am going to put a bit of torque on these now. Now, I'm obviously not torquing these to spec. This is just to put a bit of preload. I'm also watching my washers to make sure that as I tighten the nut, as it hits the case, the washer's staying stationary, which it is, and the ARP thread lube is reducing the friction between the nut and the washer, so the nut does the rotating and the washer stays stationary on the case, which is perfect. I think I'm about 15 minutes now. Jeez. Okay, time to start torquing everything down. The torque wrench is preset. Hopefully the camera's showing that, but the nut is turning. I'm just going to go around and sort of pre-torque them all a lot more. So this isn't my final torquing sequence. Well, sadly the battery went flat and it's only got 2% charge left, so I thought I'd just quickly show you. Case is together, everything's torqued down, perimeter nuts are done. Good squeeze out, probably a bit too much squeeze out to be honest. I have enough time to rotate it so I can handle it. I'll just grab this so you can see I can easily rotate the crank. Whoa. Set upside down, plenty of Mach 574 all over the chain, so I better wipe this off. But yeah, I mean, too much. I could use less, but I'm happy to see plenty of squeeze out, because that's always more preferable than not seeing enough. You probably can't see in there, but there's plenty. So I'll wipe that off and I'll let this set up overnight. Well, then I'll start doing the next part.